Conor doesn't need to fight. He has everything. I respect the fact that he's coming back to fight so much because it shows that he's a fighter in his heart. You know, me, I got to a certain level and I decided to walk away. You know, Conor, he's back. It shows that he's still that fighter despite having so much success. I'm rooting for him. Proud of Conor. I'm a massive fan. I think I will be for the rest of my life. You know, he has had a lot of struggles, ups and downs, just like I have, but he always gets back on his feet, which is a huge example to see.
But when you look at what's going on the betting lines, the people that are supposed to be in the know don't tend to agree. Right now, Max Holloway is a minus 450 favorite. Conor is plus 300. That is a crazy number. Let me get to the best fight odds, right? Has Max minus 385. Those numbers tell you that they believe that we are going to see a lesser version of McGregor. But I also believe that because Conor is who he is, he will want to present something better, mostly because he will want to prove the doubters wrong. Conor McGregor, if this video comes across his timeline and he hears this, that will then spark something in him to go, let me go.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what happens in that fight. Max definitely knocked me out, but I feel like I got that win back with the Ilia Topuria fight. I would love, you know, as I've stated hundreds of times publicly, I would love to punch Conor McGregor in the face. So yeah, I'm excited about that fight. I'm excited to be there and watch it.
Yeah, bro, like he's one of the only guys that you haven't had a chance to punch in the face.
Exactly. I mean, there's no doubt he's one of the biggest superstar in the sport, and so fighting a guy like that, you know, obviously does great things for me financially, and you know, for my legendary status and stuff like that.
Realize the insurmountable challenge that Conor McGregor is about to take on. Like as things get closer, hype starts to die down, reality starts to set in, and we aren't there yet. Like the hype and the fireworks are still going to be going for another week or so. But as we get closer and that starts to die down, I will tell you, I find what Conor McGregor is attempting to do to be inspirational. And there are not very many, if any, famous elitist millionaires that I could be inspired by. But this task really is remarkable. You have the worst injury that I've ever seen in our sport. Now, I've seen 3 other athletes with the same injury, but I haven't seen a worse injury. You have an athlete who is returning to a weight class outside of his prime, which historically, including boxing, does not go well. And he's going into what I believe to be the hardest proposition in sport, which is
this McGregor-Holloway fight, UFC 329. Who wins that, McGregor or Holloway?
Whoever loses is bad. It's just Holloway can't lose to McGregor coming off the couch doing all the shit he's been doing, and McGregor can't afford another loss.
If McGregor loses this fight, is he done?
It depends how he loses.
Got it.
If it's like he gets steamrolled, it's just like, damn dog, it should probably
hang it up.
Should probably call this one.
I think he wins. I do think there's a lot of questions about how McGregor, like his lifestyle outside of the cage, you know, and then being able to train, being able to juggle everything, and again, like going back to what Marvin Hagler said back in the day, man, it's hard to get up and run whenever you're sleeping in silk pajamas, you know? So, like, how much is he really going out there and training? How much is he really, like, just putting up for show? We won't know until the fight, and I like my chances with Holloway. Again, he's been way more active. He's been in the gym. And especially even in his last fight, he didn't take much damage. So for me, I'm thinking it's more of a Holloway win. And again, also he's one of my favorite fighters. So I'm definitely going
Holloway. Again, I think he knocks him out. I don't think anyone can really argue and McGregor's hungry like he used to be? Is he hungry enough to be getting in the gym and doing the things he has to do, doing that hour bag work, doing those hours of drilling? I don't know. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I believe Holloway's hungrier. I believe he's more locked in. And
we got a big fight coming up. Conor McGregor taking on Max Holloway. How do you feel about that fight? Especially with Conor McGregor coming back, right? He's coming back into fighting. Once again, I feel he said that he needs it. He loves it. The sport of competition. Where he's fighting Max Holloway, Max has been in the paint. He's been grinding. He's been fighting his ass off.
Said Conor. I think Conor's going to win because it's at welterweight. If it was at a lightweight, I would have.
But it's not just Conor too. But look at the excitement at 155 pounds. Like, it's back again. In particular with Gaethje winning the belt. There's so many contenders now. Like, who's gonna be the lucky winner to get the next title shot? If Conor wins, we all know it's gonna go to Conor. But if Conor doesn't win, it could be Max Holloway, who beat Justin. It could be Charles Oliveira, or you give it to who everybody, the majority of the people actually want, in Arman Tsarukyan. And that would be the most deserving.
My guy, listen. At this point,
Justin can pick. Justin can pick.
Okay, if Max does get it done, what is the point of the rematch? That's not a big enough fight. It's not a big enough high for me to top what I just did at the White House. I'm done.
Oh, so really? So you're saying? Hold on, come on. Let me pause you there. So, if Conor does lose, there could be a reason that Justin Gaethje says goodbye to the sport of MMA.
I mean, I'm not speaking for him. He's his own man, but if the
Fight night between Conor McGregor and Max Holloway gets
Fight night between Conor McGregor and Max Holloway is drawing near, and the countdown has ignited the entire combat sports community around a single burning question no one can answer with real certainty. Whose arm gets raised when it's all over? This isn't a run-of-the-mill matchup. Two names that have left their mark on both the lightweight and featherweight divisions like almost no one else in the sport are now heading toward a head-on collision that has fans, trainers, and past champions all weighing in simultaneously. The chatter unfolding in locker rooms, across podcast mics, and inside training facilities right now is fierce, and the takes are scattered in every direction. Plenty of people are fully convinced that Conor McGregor's left hand puts this fight to bed before it even gets started. One perfectly timed punch, one flash of precision, and it's finished. They cite his history, the way he shattered Jose Aldo's jaw in a mere 13 seconds, and how he dropped Dustin Poirier in their initial encounter. That kind of power doesn't just vanish with time, and anyone in McGregor's camp will say so without a second thought. On the flip side, the counter-argument is equally forceful. Max Holloway doesn't hand opponents any breathing room. He's tireless. He marches through pressure as if it barely registers, and the sheer volume he produces across 5 rounds grinds down even the most durable competitors. His conditioning is world-class, his timing keeps improving with experience, and his capacity to eat punishment while still firing back clean combinations is something that doesn't get nearly enough credit. Holloway's supporters aren't making this case out of blind loyalty. They genuinely think McGregor's extended absence from competition will catch up to him somewhere in the later rounds, and Holloway will be ready to capitalize the moment it does. So where do the analysts actually stand? One of the earliest predictions to grab attention came from Brendan Schaub, and what set his take apart was his refusal to fully commit to either side. While a lot of commentators were eager to plant their flag in one camp, Schaub held back and essentially argued there are simply too many variables to make a confident call. His logic was simple. McGregor has been out of action for a long stretch, not weeks, but years, and during that time, the sport itself kept evolving. Fresh champions emerged, and fighting styles shifted. The landscape changes in ways that are easy to overlook but very real, and returning to that world after such a long break is rarely as seamless as people assume. Schaub wasn't claiming McGregor can't win, that distinction matters. His point was that nobody truly knows which version of McGregor shows up on fight night. Is it the version who dismantled Eddie Alvarez with total ease? Or is it a fighter still knocking off rust, still searching for rhythm, still not quite at the level that once made him one of the most feared men in the sport? Schaub reasoned that until the first exchange actually takes place inside the cage, offering a confident prediction is closer to guesswork than genuine analysis. That kind of restraint is uncommon during fight week, when everyone feels pressure to pick a side and defend it no matter what. Schaub chose to sit with the uncertainty, and plenty of fans respected that stance, even the ones craving a bolder pick. Not everyone held back, though. Henry Cejudo, the former two-division UFC champion and one of the sport's more perceptive analysts, offered a viewpoint that many McGregor backers had been hoping to hear from someone with real credibility. Cejudo pushed back against the growing storyline that McGregor is simply washed, that his years away have cost him too much, and that Holloway's activity and sharpness will be more than he can handle. In Cejudo's eyes, people are dismissing McGregor far too fast, and for the wrong reasons. Yes, 5 years away is a significant gap, nobody disputes that. Time away from elite competition creates genuine deficits in timing, sharpness, and the ability to manage the specific chaos of high-level cage fighting. Cejudo conceded all of that freely, but that's where his argument shifts. The left hand doesn't disappear. That power doesn't retire just because a fighter steps away for a few years. McGregor's knockout ability in that left hand isn't the kind of thing that erodes with inactivity the way stamina does, or the way reflexes might soften around the edges. It's a weapon that stays loaded, stays dangerous, and remains just one opening away from completely turning any fight on its head. The takeaway, then, is that McGregor doesn't need to be the McGregor of old for the full 25 minutes. He doesn't need to match Holloway's pace or outlast him across 5 rounds. What he needs is patience, never exactly his defining trait, but something that becomes essential against an opponent as relentless as Holloway. Cejudo framed the strategy simply: weather the early storm, avoid recklessness, don't let Holloway pull him into a volume battle that favors Max entirely. Instead, stay composed, stay deliberate, and wait for the window where that left hand can land with full force behind it. One punch, one opening, that's the whole equation. Cejudo made clear he wasn't calling this an easy night for McGregor. He wasn't downplaying Holloway's skill or pretending the layoff is irrelevant. His point was that writing McGregor off entirely, treating the outcome as a foregone conclusion before it even begins, is a lazy conclusion that too many in the MMA world are jumping to right now. What makes this pairing so compelling is that both arguments hold genuine merit. If you lean toward Holloway, the numbers back you up. He's been one of the most consistently dominant, high-volume fighters across both the featherweight and lightweight ranks for years. His resume speaks for itself, and his performances keep getting more complete over time. He may lack McGregor's highlight reel knockouts, but he breaks opponents down in a way that's arguably even more punishing. He simply never lets up, and eventually that wears people down completely. If you lean toward McGregor, you're wagering on something no stat sheet can capture. You're banking on the same intangible quality that's defined his entire career: the ability to create a moment nobody saw coming, to land a single shot that flips the entire fight in an instant, no matter how the rounds before it played out. Both possibilities are legitimate. Both could happen, which is exactly why nobody in this sport can offer a clean, confident forecast for how this one ends. This split among experts isn't closing before fight night. If anything, it'll only grow louder and more heated as the date approaches. Everyone's got a theory. Everyone's got a reason their guy comes out on top. But the reality is that mixed martial arts routinely humbles the experts, and this fight offers more legitimate roads to more different outcomes than most. Schaub's point about uncertainty still holds up. Cejudo's point about McGregor's power still holds up. And everything the Holloway camp says about pace, pressure, and relentlessness still holds up too. 3 separate truths pulling in 3 separate directions, all waiting for one night inside the octagon to settle the score. The one thing anyone can say with confidence right now is that this fight is going to be must-watch. Drop your prediction below, McGregor or Holloway, and let's find out who called it correctly once the dust clears.